Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Today I want to thank you, Prabhu. Today I want to share with you 3 principles for effective living. I just want to give you a background. So, as Krishna consciousness preachers, we travel, and most places there are 2 kinds of classes we devotees give. So, one is according to the need of the devotees, which is devotees want nourishment. So they hear Bhagavatam, Ramayana, Katha, different verses. So this nourishes the devotees. There is also another kind of Katha, which the speaker is nourished by. So generally, wherever I have traveled in US, I have spoken according to the needs of the audience. But here, Vraja Prabhu and Radha Bihari Mataji have given me topics which I am interested in. So I'm very grateful to you for that. So today's topic is triangle of effective living. Tomorrow is balancing intensity with sensitivity. And day after tomorrow is when how, the question how can be a hiding place. So these are topics which are very dear to my heart. And I feel as we get older as preachers, we should speak those topics, or we should share with the world what is close to our heart. So just like, just like we hear Krishna Katha. So as a preacher, when I'm traveling, I'm going from so many cities and traveling, there is something burning in me, which I want to share because of my observation, because of my seeing devotees making the same mistakes everywhere, the same pattern getting repeated. So when we see all of this, then we get this overwhelming desire to see that devotees don't do the same mistakes, right? So with that eagerness, I write my essays once in a week, and that I need a forum to share that also. So in Dallas, very kindly, mercifully, I've been given this opportunity to share over the next 3 days. So I will be sharing with you some of these thoughts. Thank you. For today's topic, today we'll discuss 3 most important principles that successful devotees or Hare Krishna devotees have internalized. And in my travels, in my observation, I have seen these principles give results. And wherever they have been violated, I have seen devotees, sincere devotees being miserable. So very humbly I will share. It's not that I know, just because I know this, I am practicing this. No, I am also like you, struggling, but I have seen this is happening. So to understand these 3 principles, first we need to get a background. So remember, I said the triangle of, what is the topic?
Effective living.
I didn't say happy living. Did you notice that?
Yes.
Because we have to be first clear that when you come to spiritual life, you are guaranteed an effective life, not a happy life. Many of us have this misconception that Krishna consciousness is meant to give us happiness. So, Krishna consciousness is not about happiness, because happiness is a very abstract thing. What makes you happy today, same thing can make you miserable tomorrow. It's in the level of the mind, and it's very vague. So there is more to Krishna consciousness than feeling happy. That is the first. Once we understand this, then we can discuss the 3 principles. Otherwise, those 3 principles will not make sense. So Srila Prabhupada explains many places that Krishna consciousness is not some technique to be happy. It's not simply some philosophy. See, in ISKCON, we don't simply learn Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam. If you go to other organizations, there are many organizations which teach Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam. But ISKCON, we are not simply learning Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam. You are also learning how to put tilak. You are learning how to chant. Basically, you are learning how to live. There's a cultural shift. You are learning how to serve in a community. You have programs for overall well-being. We have Garbhadan Samskar. We have Anteshti Samskar. We have a whole program from birth to death in ISKCON. We are not simply giving some technique or philosophy. We are changing their lifestyle. some South Indian Malayali singing Bengali bhajan. Narottam Das Thakur's bhajan. Whole life has changed. African devotees are singing Radhe Radhe. So that means it's not simply some philosophy. So therefore, we have to understand it's not simply about happiness. There is something deeper. It is all about a spiritual search. So often we mistake, many of us, one of the mistakes we do is, we think Krishna consciousness is a better alternative to my earlier social life, community life, family life. Some people mistake Krishna consciousness to be some philosophical class. Oh, I'm going for a ISKCON class. Some think it is, oh, Hare Krishna is all about chanting Hare Krishna. Some think it is about social welfare. We have a very narrow definition of Krishna consciousness. Actually, all of this is secondary. The main thing is, in Krishna consciousness, the main focus Srila Prabhupada emphasized is a spiritual quest. Means the desire to know God. That is what defines ISKCON life. A relationship with God. Everything else is surrounding that search. So, please know that. Is that clear? See, Prabhupada has given how many purposes of ISKCON? Anybody knows? 7 purposes. So the first 3, if you see, they are very clear. Like the first one is to systematically propagate spiritual knowledge and to educate all people in spiritual life in order to check the imbalance of values and to achieve real unity and peace in the world. This is the first purpose of ISKCON. Spiritual education means giving knowledge of Krishna. Second is actually to propagate Krishna as revealed in Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam. This is our main thing. We want to give you Krishna based on Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam. And the third purpose is to bring the members of our society together with each other and together with Krishna. Come closer to each other and come closer to Krishna. And understand that we are all parts and parcels of Krishna. Then fourth is Sankirtan. We should come together and chant. Fifth is temples, having places of worship. And sixth is farm communities. And seventh is publishing books. So like that, there are seven purposes of ISKCON. So we can't change this. As a preacher, I cannot change the purpose. I don't have a mandate to speak something else. It has to be within these 7 purposes. So, therefore, the foundational edifice, if you are coming to any ISKCON program in future also, please know, every preacher will come with this agenda. That our purpose is to see that you get connected to Krishna. You have a relationship with Krishna. Regarding your family, regarding your business, regarding your children, regarding all the other things, we will help. But that is not our main thing. Are you getting it? For your children, we will have Sunday fun school. All that we will have. Because we want to bring everybody together. But ultimately, the first is like Krishna. You have to connect with God. So the Bhagavatam explains this very clearly. Taseva heto prayateta kovido na labhyate yad brahmatam paryada talabhyate dukkhavadanyata sukham kale na sarvatra gabhira ramasa. Narad Muni tells Vyasdev that please don't look for happiness. This is the foundation of Bhagavatam. Endeavor, work hard for something which you cannot get by traveling the entire creation. Na labhyate yad brahmatam uparidam. That's not happiness. Happiness is available because talabhyate dukkhavadanyata sukham. You get dukkha without asking. Similarly, you will get sukha also without asking. Anybody here who has ever prayed, Krishna, let me meet with an accident? As anyone prayed, let me lose my job, let my loved one die. Do we pray like this? But don't these things happen? Yes. So without asking, we are getting misery. So Bhagavatam says, without asking, you will get happiness also. Don't pray for happiness. Talabhyate dukkha vadanyata sukham. Dukkha and sukha. Kabhi खुशी मोस्टली गम. वो तो मिल जाएगा, है ना? So then why? Narad Muni says, Kalena sarvatra gabhira ramasa. There is ramasa. Ramasa means a great force. And that force is called Kala. Kala means Time. Time will come as a huge force and change your life and give you happiness, sometimes give you distress. So don't be bothered about this. In fact, if you see Srila Prabhupada in all lectures, he emphasizes us to transcend birth, death, old age, disease, and go. Have you heard Prabhupada say this? We have to go back home, back to Godhead. That means that is the main purpose of this ISKCON. We cannot ignore this goal. Krishna consciousness is not about making your material life better. You make your material life better. We're not against that. It's just that don't have conflict of expectations. Don't think ISKCON devotees are expert in making your material life better. For that, you consult your family or friends or whatever. But Krishna consciousness is to seek a spiritual life. So, in the 5th canto, Prabhupada explains it very beautifully. This is one of the most quoted verses of Prabhupada, this 5th canto, 5th chapter verse. Nayam deho deha bhajam loke kashtam kaman arhate vidbhujami tapo divyam putrakaena sattvam shuddhe yasmat brahma saukyam tanantam. Rishabh Devi is telling his sons that human form of life, no, don't get shaken, but Bhagavatam is to shake you. He's saying, Shukadeva Goswami is saying, Rishabh Devi is telling his sons, Nayam deho deha bhajam loke. Human life is not for kashtan kaman harhati vidbhujam. It's not meant to work hard and enjoy like the pigs. Tapo divyam putrakayena sattvam. My dear sons, he's telling his sons, human life is meant for tapasya, austerity. That austerity by which Shuddhe Yasmat Brahma Saukyam Panantam, you can get spiritual transcendental happiness beyond this world. So therefore, Brahma Saukyam, that is effective living, not happy living. That is more than happiness of this world. So in this world, happiness is illusory, it keeps changing, it's transitory. Therefore, my dear friends, please understand, human life according to ISKCON philosophy is, human life is very rare and it is not meant for seeking happiness. It is meant for seeking something beyond happiness. 5-year-old Prahlad tells his friends, Kaumara machare pragyo dharman bhagavatam ya durlabam manusham janma tadap adruvam artadam. He says from childhood, start practicing Krishna consciousness. Kaumara machare pragyo. Why? Durlabam manusham janma. Human life is very rare. Tadat adruvam artadam. It's adruvam. Human life is temporary. Any moment we can die. Like other life, human life is also temporary. All of us know when we were born. But can we say with certainty when we will die? Adruvam, any time. But artadam, it's full of meaning. Human life is a life full of meaning, although it is temporary. And you will say, but what is that meaning? Is that happiness? The meaning? No. Sukham endriyakam daitya. Very next verse he says, Deya yogena dehinam. It's not happiness. Happiness to aayega jayega. Sarvatra labhyate deva. Arey, happiness to sabko mil raha hai. Yata dukkham ayatmata. Without trying you get dukkha. Without trying you get sukha also. Na socho mat happiness ke baare. So in that purport, I want to read 2 lines from that purport. What Srila Prabhupada writes. This is very powerful. Every ISKCON devotee should know this. Now Srila Prabhupada says, I'll just read this. Please listen carefully. There is no need to waste time and energy fighting against distress or working very hard for happiness. We're not saying don't work hard. But don't work hard for happiness. Our only business in human form of life should be to revive our relationship with Supreme Lord and thus become qualified to return home back to Godhead. Material happiness and distress will come as soon as we accept this body, regardless of what form. We cannot avoid such happiness and distress under any circumstance. The best use of human life is to revive our relationship with Supreme Lord Vishnu. Therefore, success in Krishna consciousness is not whether you are happy. It is about how effective your life is, how your spiritual search is happening, how your connection with Krishna is happening, how you are progressing. See, when you meet a Kshatriya, What do two Kshatriyas talk when they meet? How is politics? How is administration? What is Trump doing? What is Modi doing? These Kshatriyas. That's give them rasa. When two businessmen, Vaishyas meet, how is stock market? That's what they discuss. When two Brahmanas meet, what they ask? How is spiritual search going on? What are you studying nowadays? When two Shudras meet, what they ask? How are you? I'm fine. You are खुश है ना? Body बीमार नहीं है ना? अच्छा है ना? Are you happy? So we are like that, which is okay. But Krishna consciousness is meant for another purpose. See, there is a very famous story in ISKCON. I don't know if you are aware of this. One Gujarati here? No? You're feeling shy to raise your hand. So Prabhupada gave a lecture in a Gujarati society in London. So this was Gujarati society chairman, was an elderly gentleman. He had almost retired, he had just got his daughters married, settled life. Vanaprastha kind of retired man. President of London Gujarati Society. So he is introducing, first time he is seeing Prabhupada. And he is introducing Swami Prabhupada. Swamiji has come from India, ISKCON. So we invite you, please speak. So Prabhupada starts a lecture. So when we meet each other, we ask, how are you? If you are a spiritual person, you will not ask, how are you? You will ask, how is your journey to transcend the cycle of birth and death going? So two spiritualists, when they meet, they should ask each other, my journey is going on like this. How is your journey going on? So this one sentence which Prabhupada said in the beginning, this Gujarati gentleman, he was completely shaken. He was comparing the program. He said, what did I just now hear? He went back home, completely changed. He started reading Bhagavatam. And after a few days, he joined the temple at the age of 55 or something. He was already retired. He had already got his children married. So he had already made enough savings. And he would always be with Bhagavatam. And he went on to become His Holiness Mahavishnu Goswami Maharaj. From Rajkot. He's one of his illustrious disciples, I think Devatas Prabhu from Singapore, I think is his disciple. And he lived till the age of 95 or something, 96. He left his body at our Bhaktivinoda hospital and then we took him to Nasik. He lived a life completely dedicated to Srimad Bhagavatam. So, the point is, this is what ISKCON is meant for, to afflict the comforted and comfort the afflicted. If you are disturbed, then Krishna Katha will give you nourishment, which is what many of our ISKCON preachers do. Sukun milta hai Krishna Katha sun ke, ananda. Today morning I was giving an online class to Mumbai devotees. Initially I shook them, बाद में end में Krishna killing Trinavarta, Krishna killing Putana, बोला सब खुश हो गए. When you just speak about Krishna, smile आता है. Because Krishna, just Krishna word itself brings smile. So when you are afflicted, just glorify Krishna, you feel comforted. But Bhagavatam has a second purpose also. Those who are comforted, afflict them. Those who are complacent, उनको हिलाओ, और जो हिले हुए हैं, उनको सुकून दो. So, but what happens? I'm spending some time in introduction because many devotees have begun nicely in ISKCON. We begin nicely, but somewhere we go through what is called as a crisis of faith. Something has gone wrong. We wanted a spiritual life. But we see many devotees, Prabhus, with a heavy heart, I have to admit. I travel, and in my own struggles also, I realized, I went through this struggle. Why should others go through this struggle? Or why didn't the seniors went through, why they didn't share with me? The point is, we need to lead an effective life, and we need to balance three principles, which I am sharing right now. If these three principles we work on every day, then our life will be effective. We will be on the path, on the line of what Krishna ISKCON is presenting, and also our lives will be peaceful. The first is most important, shelter and connection to something beyond mind, intelligence and ego. Basically, we need an emotional relationship with Krishna. I'll repeat. Most important out of the three principles is an emotional relationship with Krishna. Even a child can have it, even an old person can have it. This is something not of mind, intelligence and ego. This has to be something deeper. Connection both things. Second, equally important, is a sense of purpose, contribution. कुछ देना है, कुछ करना है. I know many of you are coming from Frisco to Dallas Temple doing seva. You want to live for a purpose beyond yourself. Despite family, despite so many responsibilities, you are serving Krishna, you are serving ISKCON. That means you have a sense of purpose. These two are in place. And third, the missing link, because of which devotees are struggling, is physical and psychological stability. I'll repeat, physical and psychological stability. So these are the three principles that we need to work upon, all devotees. Shelter and connection or emotional relationship with Krishna. Beyond mind, intelligence and ego, it's actually at the heart space, connecting to Krishna. Second is contribution. Third is stability, psychological. See, it's all related. I'll tell you, when we have the main thing in this world, if you are living in this world, it has to be based on contribution. ये दुनिया में रहना है तो देना पड़ेगा. If you are thinking I want to get, you will never be happy. Whether you are a mother, whether you are a brahmachari, everybody, whoever is giving, this world has only one law, you have to give. Like I saw one friend, like one of my students, always partying, enjoying, masti, complete young boy. Then at a certain point of time he got married. Responsibility. Now he has a child. And I see him so sober, grave, like he's changed. I can see a palpable difference. And I can see earlier he was agitated, restless. Now he's like wiser. Why? This is obvious because now he has a purpose. He's living not, earlier he was living for himself. अपने लिए जी रहा था मस्ती. But now he immediately thinks of his child, his wife, his family. I even seen girls, giggling, frivolous. But once they get married, and then they become mother. They become more sober, grave. From being a girl to a mother, woman is a completely different journey. So, the life of purpose. In this world, whoever you are only give. In दुनिया में, our Kripamay Prabhu and his wife, Guru Dharanapatna Mataji, they have been married for 50 plus years. They are senior Prabhupada disciples. Amazing couple. They are doing so much service in ISKCON. Their Guru also, official. And their daughter is one of the famous Kirtaniyas, Janvi Harrison. The other daughter is in New York. Amazing family. And Guru Charanapati Mataji told him in Grahastha, they did one Grahastha seminar. And I also went for that. I said, because I have many students, many people who come for my class, they are Grahasthas, and so I want to understand. So the essence of that workshop was, if you want to be effective as Grahastha, you have to follow 6 rules. And I realized the 6 rules applicable for anybody who is alive in this material world. Everybody has to follow the 6 rules, then only you can be happy. Now what are the 6 rules? Give. 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 Forgive. 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 These are the 6 rules. What are the 6 rules?
Give.
Give.
Forgive.
Forgive. Forgive. Anyway, so it's giving. But we cannot give. We cannot contribute unless we have shelter. We connect also. We get also. Many of us, what the mistake we do is that shelter, that connection, because we are, and see, if you are hungry, if you are serving all the time, if you are not eaten, how can you serve? Similarly, how can you contribute if you are not connected? How can you serve if you have not got shelter? Right? So, mistake we do is, for that connection and for that shelter, we seek it in bodily identity. My home, my family, my wife, my children. No. Family, wife, children are all meant for contribution, not for connection. That has to be very clear. Wherever you are, if you are living in this material world, you have to only give. But I can't give. I also need Baba connection. Okay. For that, we have Krishna consciousness. Krishna consciousness is where we take from Krishna. We get connection, we get shelter. If you are, see, in this world, Everything is for giving. If we have expectation that they will give me happiness, if you think my wife should give me happiness, my children should give me happiness, they will give. But if that is our goal, or that is what we are focused on, if that is the foundation, then we are preparing ourselves for a disaster. So expectation is the seed of misery in this material world. So you will see most intelligent devotees, I have seen very closely, they receive from Krishna, and in this world they only give. And when they give without expecting, they get more. People see, are you selfless? And then people give them love. And they are like, I didn't expect you to give me love. You are giving me love. So they give more. But their main source of taking is Krishna. So this connection and shelter is very, very important, because the connection with Krishna, Super Soul, means emotional connection with Krishna. Once we are connected with Krishna, then we will be able to give. If we are not connected with Krishna, what will happen? We'll expect from this world, we'll expect from our temple president, we'll expect from everybody, and what will happen? This world is guaranteed to disappoint you. Even when you get love, your vacuum doesn't get filled. I've seen people, they have everything, they are like, "Arey, kuch to kami hai. Something is missing." So we need Krishna factor. We need to connect with Krishna. That is connection. And then we can contribute. But the problem is, Krishna connection is also not easy, because Krishna loves to play hide and seek. I've seen devotees who are sincerely connecting with Krishna, who are also contributing, but still their life is not effective, because their missing link is stability, psychological and physical stability. Basically, I'm talking about support systems, like for health, for achieving something, for the ego. Like people need to work, they need to feel a sense of achievement. You don't feel like that? Like when I joined the ashram as a brahmachari, young brahmachari, I was passionate, 25-year-old young man with a lot of energy. I used to go for book distribution every day in the local trains of Mumbai. It's crowded like mad, and I used to announce, and I used to sell books. So these beggars and pen sellers and comb sellers, they used to think I'm like one of them. And they used to ask me also, "Arey, Babaji, aaj kitna kamaya?" So they used to think I'm a beggar like them, and I used to also not mind it, but it was like very intense, going in the street, shouting, selling books. And I would come back with the score of, sometimes 100 books. And I would feel, I don't know about the spiritual benefits milega, because we are pleasing Prabhupada. But more than that, there was a mental sense of, I did something. We need that. At a certain age, we need that ego satisfaction of doing something. And we need good friendships and good relations. So stability ke liye, we have to do something for intelligence. For example, intelligence. We need to learn, we need to read, we need to grow. So what many people do, we focus on connection part. We chant our rounds, we do deity worship. We also do service, contribution. Two of the three we are taking care. But the psychological stability we ignore. And I've seen devotees who ignore this. They go through a lot of challenges. They just depend on Krishna. Krishna will take care. Krishna is not our servant, Baba. We are servant of Krishna. Krishna is not supposed to fill all our... We are supposed to do whatever is needed and then serve Krishna. Some devotees I know, they connect to their family traditions, like Kula Devi, like we say, as ISKCON devotee, we say Krishna is everything. Just serve Krishna. Because there is no end to how much you can do with demigod worship and all that. There is no end to it. Mindless, Vastu, astrology, no end. But at the same time, there is some acceptable form of Maya also. It's risky. We need guidance. But I've seen devotees find stability through family connections, through Devata Puja and all that. But as a preacher, I cannot endorse this, because my mandate given to me is connect you to Krishna. I am here to tell you about Krishna as a preacher. Because Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and I don't do any of the other things. I just do Krishna chanting. But how can and Prabhupada also encourages us to be absorbed only in Krishna and not go anywhere else. But I don't know what Srila Prabhupada said about 3 areas. If you know what Prabhupada said, you can tell me. First, what does Prabhupada tell us about taking care of devotees who have spent more than 25-30 years in the movement? Or those who are above 45-50 years of age, or getting a little older, some of the devotees going through midlife crisis. About them, what did Prabhupada say? Anybody knows? And we have a long list of devotees. So I've been searching Prabhupada's quotes. If you get, share with me. Even when Prabhupada was there on the planet, he dealt differently with older devotees. Those who were a little older, like Satswarup Maharaj, Kirtananand Swami, Gaur Govind Maharaj, Radha Govind Maharaj, he was dealing with them with the respect. But most of the other devotees were young, 20, 22, they were rough, and Prabhupada would also be tough with them, loving and tough. So, but Prabhupada did not give us explicitly. I mean, sure, Prabhupada has given us in his purport we have to discover, extract, but explicit I have not found. How to take care of devotees who are getting a little older. Second, how to take care of teenagers. Most of the parents who have problems, they are facing challenge with teenage children. Prabhupada has given us instructions on small children, 5 years, 6 years, 7 years. But teenage, what to do? And third, how to serve and cooperate with our God brothers and God sisters in the same project. Generally during Prabhupada's time, if devotees had a difficulty, okay, you start your temple there, you start your temple there. That's how ISKCON spread, expanded. But now we are facing all these challenges in a community as we are getting older together. We need each other. And we are struggling. So I know one brahmachari who become 50 years old and he has been a brahmachari for 25 years, sincerely serving Krishna. He hears every day Bhagavatam class, does deity worship, Radharani dressing, everything, pakka devotee. But remember, connection is also there, contribution is also there. But there was some stability issue psychologically, physically, because his parents died, his brother died, everybody in his family died. Generally, when you're not devotee and one of your parents die, then people go through midlife crisis. And now he is a brahmachari, he's in saffron, he's serving Krishna, connection, contribution is there, but both his parents died, COVID happened, his brother died, a lot of things happened. And the situation was such that I had to encourage him to do some Devata, demigod worship. Not worship as like Krishna, some respect. So some stability he got because of that. And I saw a change in his life. Now I was scared. If we endorse this, then it becomes a cult. And okay, every ISKCON devotee will give up chanting Hare Krishna. We don't want to do that. But whatever it takes for stability. And I was like, Arey, isko to fit. And now somebody may say, but this is deviation. So I tell you, this is not deviation because this devotee I'm talking about, every day he attends Bhagavatam class in temple. Every day he attends Mangalarti. Never misses. Mangalarti is glorification of not demigod. Radha Gopinath. He attends Bhagavatam class and he is 56 year old, 57 years old, and 22, 23 year old new brahmachari gives Bhagavatam class also, he will sit and hear. It's not that I am very senior, a kalka bacha, what he will respectfully, and after the class he will go to that devotee and he will appreciate the class also. And he will attend Mangalarti every day. He has got a lot of health issues, but pakka in sadhana, chant with devotees, will do deity worship. But every day he spends a few minutes offering something for his Kula Devi, doing something which his ancestors wanted him to do. So he gets some kind of psychological and some stability he gets because of that. So I encouraged him, but other devotees are telling him it is wrong. So I told him, no, I am fully supportive. So there was this conflict. But I feel it is better to do that for psychological stability than watch Netflix or get addicted to pornography. There are so many things people do because of their uncontrolled senses and because of their problems. So I said, ठीक है ना, अरे Vedic culture में ही है. So, and one of the most amazing experiences I had was, I took one very senior grahastha in our community, Anandandavan Prabhu. I don't know if you know, he's from Mumbai. He chants every day 64 rounds. And every 2-3 days when he gets bored, he chants 128 rounds. for him, chanting is like, so he for him it's like, just like when you are stressed, you can just pick up smartphone and YouTube Reels. When he's stressed, he picks up feedback. For him, Krishna is everything. So one day I took him to meet, I'm from Udupi, where we have many senior sannyasis from tradition of 800 years of sannyasis who serve Krishna exclusively. 800 years, hardly 2 or 3 fall downs. And these people take sannyas when they are 7, 8, 9 year old. They remain sannyasi till the age of 90, 92. They are serving Krishna whole life. So there is one Vishwa Priya Tirtha Swamiji. He took sannyas at the age of a young boy, 1970 or something. Now in 2025, he is very senior sannyasi. So I took Ananda Prabhu to meet him. And this sannyasi is taking care of community. All the Udupi people. And he's a sannyasi worshipping. His daily schedule is, he gets up at 2:30 in the morning and he serves Krishna deity and his Shaligram Shila till afternoon 12:30. Then he takes a drop of water. At the age of 75 also. Krishna worship only. Sleeps only 4.5 hours. I have seen him since I was a child. So I took Ananda Prabhu to meet him. And from his mouth, this Swamiji, only thing comes out of his mouth is Narayana. 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 So if he's talking to you, this is how he'll talk to you. Narayana, how are you? Oh, your child is in school? Narayana. Narayana. Where you're in Bombay now? Oh, Narayana. Narayana. Narayana is like, he just can't stop. So you can imagine how much, at least Amrita Jata Krishna conscious. So now look at the story. Anandaman Prabhu is meeting him. Now he doesn't know Anandaman Prabhu. You know, Anandaman Prabhu is a person who will be like, I'm fallen. How to go back to God? I don't want to miss the bus. I don't know if you know this. His personality is like intense. His intensity personified. So he started saying, Swamiji, thank you for giving us darshan. My mind is troubling me. What should I do with the mind? Now he was just saying out of humility. He chants all the time. But this Swamiji is genuinely compassionate. So he thought, poor fellow, he is actually struggling with his mind. So he heard him, Acha, your problem. Yes, Swamiji, mind troubles. But I want to take shelter of Krishna. I want to chant Hare Krishna. Oh, he heard him, everything. Then he says, Acha, so you chant your 16 rounds every day? Now this Swamiji knew that in ISKCON we chant 16 rounds of Hare Krishna. So he said, yes. Then I said, Maharaj, he chants 128, 64. Oh, no, we chant 16 only. You chant 16 rounds and then after that you chant one round Om Namah Shivaya. I was like, I enjoyed it, but I was looking at him. Because unka pura intelligence short circuit, you know. What are you saying? He said, but you are chanting Narayana, and you are chanting Hare Krishna. No. We said, no, mind trouble, no, mind. Rudra, Devata of mind, Bhagavatam says, Rudra principle. And Lord Shiva is the in charge of this. He said, no, but I chant Hare Krishna is enough for everything. He started debating. So someone, no, Krishna is everything. Krishna is our Lord. See, if you have problem in Karnataka, this Udupi comes in Karnataka state. So he said, in Karnataka we have problem, we go to Modi. Modi is Prime Minister. Modi says you send that file to Amit Shah. Amit Shah is the Home Minister. So he says, we go to Modi, Modi will send us to Amit Shah. Similarly, we go to Krishna with our mind problem, Krishna will say go to Rudra, Shiva. Prabhuji did not understand the answer. He increased his chanting, it is okay. But because the Swamiji is dealing with the community, and he said, don't chant more, chant only 16. How many children you have? So he said, I have one son. So you chant only 16. Rest of the time you spend with your son. Spend with your family. Once your son gets married, then you should chant more. Then you should not. See, look at the maturity, you know, like, because he's dealing with the community, he understood the dynamics of what he needs to do. So I was like, wow. So now this is one story, but I know other brahmacharis who have gone through serious problems and they don't do any devata worship, nothing, they just surrender to Krishna completely. Completely Krishna surrender. Now, some of them Krishna helped, some of them, the main point is they surrendered to Krishna and they did not blame Krishna for what happened. See, if you are ready not to blame Krishna, then don't do any devata worship. Our problem is we want to serve only Krishna and then we blame Krishna. If Krishna doesn't take care of material life, are you okay? If you're okay, then don't go to any devata. See, I'll tell you, as a preacher, I'll tell you, Prabhu's Mataji depend on Krishna. Just Krishna will take care. Then you have a problem, you come to me. I say, I cannot help you. If I can't help you, then you will feel cheated. So I have met people who say surrender to Krishna See, if you have a leader, if you have a shelter, if you have a guru, who will ensure that your faith in Krishna won't reduce, person will give you time, person will give you guidance, then you don't need anything else. You just need Krishna and Guru. Be happy. But if you're not sure, then my humble request is do the needful, whatever it takes. If there is someone who will take responsibility for your spiritual life and you are convinced he or she is there, then follow what they say. But if you feel you are alone on the spiritual path, then you do the needful to come closer to Krishna. And do the needful. Prabhupada says in many places, do the needful. So, my request is, devotees, please know that life is a compromise. Grahastha life. Foundation of Grahastha life is not compromise. Foundation is dedication. Right? But dedication takes many forms. And one of the forms dedication takes is compromise. So I know Grahasthas who compromise so much. So I'm saying, okay, you're anyway compromising. So instead of doing nonsense things, why not do some things which will help you have some psychological stability? So 3 principles I spoke today. What is the first?
Emotional connection with Krishna.
Connection with Krishna. Second, contribution or service. And third,
Physical and
psychological
psychological
and
stability.
physical stability. So whatever is bona fide, please do that for psychological and physical stability. Sometimes it means consulting a professional, emotional healer. And our devotees don't want to do that. They think it is all bogus. Sometimes it may mean doing yoga, pranayam. They don't want to do that. This is all, I think, being very foolish. So whatever it requires, whatever is needed, please do that. And then continue your connection with Krishna. Recently, one very senior Mataji in our ISKCON, she said something which shook me. I want to share with you that. I'll end with that and then we can have some discussion. She said, Prabhuji, my husband, they're both very senior devotees in ISKCON. So she said, it's a very tricky question she asked me. Prabhuji, my husband is very short-tempered and we are now both nearing 70. And they have practiced bhakti for 40 years now. And he's a little short-tempered and his blood pressure increases because of that. He doesn't listen to me. And he just chants Hare Krishna all the time, which is very good. But I want him to have a healthy life. So I am chanting 1 round of Om Namah Shivaya for him. And no, not Om Namah Shivaya. There is one more mantra. Om Triambakam Yajamaya Sugandhim Pushtivardhanam. So that mantra she chants 1 round. So she said, Prabhuji, is that okay? Now I am in a very tricky situation. Understand, I am a preacher. Whatever answer I give her, if she tells 100 people, before she tells, I am only telling you what I told her, so that So she caught me. Now she said, Prabhuji, whatever you tell me, Prabhuji, is very important. I realized that I am in a catch-22 situation. If I say, no, all bogus, just chant Hare Krishna, then maybe I am not doing the right thing. But if I say, okay, continue doing that, that is also, like as a preacher, do I have the mandate to say that? So what I told her, I asked her a simple question. She said, when are you doing this? She said, last 6 months I am chanting this mantra, but somewhere guilt is troubling me that I am not being loyal to Krishna. I said, you are not doing it for yourself, you are doing it for your husband. Because you want him to continue. Why you are chanting this mantra? She felt so that he continues to be good devotee, healthy, he can serve devotees. Okay. Second question I asked. In the last 6 months since you are chanting this, has your 16 rounds compromised of Hare Krishna? No, that I am chanting every day. Are you coming to temple every day? Yes, Prabhuji, I am coming for Bhagavatam class every day, and those days I cannot come and hear online. Okay. Is your DT kitchen cooking seva going on? Yes, Prabhuji, I am serving Krishna. So everything what she was doing earlier, everything is going, nothing has changed. So I said, okay, all the boxes are ticked. So you can continue doing this. Are you understanding?
Yeah.
I said, if you stop any of the core devotional activities, then I will be concerned. So then she was satisfied, I was also satisfied. But because now I see there is some stability.
Yeah.
So this way, if devotees practice these 3 principles, I have seen their lives will be effective. Otherwise, they will complain, they will fight, they will criticize Krishna, they will blame Krishna, they will fight with devotees. They will not blame their Guru and Krishna, but they will blame other devotees because they are inherently incomplete, dissatisfied. So like that. So Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. And just in case if you have any questions or comments, so welcome. But I just want to conclude with this. What I am doing in my life, so that I'm just being open. Spiritual shelter and connection with Krishna, I am taking care by every day my sadhana. Every day I hear one class of Prabhupada or my Guru Maharaj, and I write an essay on that. I have a journal where I write on what my Guru Maharaj or spiritual Prabhupada lecture. Today also I heard 1972 lectures of Prabhupada. So this is one thing I do for my connection. For contribution, I do every day either writing, teaching, which I'm doing right now, or I've written writing books also. Like next month, my next book is coming on overthinking. I do counseling, teaching, or writing every day. So connection and contribution is happening. Now for physical and psychological stability, what I am doing, I am supporting my younger brother because I feel my father will be happy. My father is no more, and my youngest brother has some issues. And about mental health and all that. So I'm doing something. I'm doing some journaling, which is not directly devotional. I do pranayam every day, a lot of time spent on breathing. I go for walks in nature. I read poetry. And I do some, like my father had a lot of ancestral deities he was worshipping for generations. So that Shaligram and that PT, I'm doing the worship every day. So these are some of the things I'm doing for my stability, psychological stability, because I feel connected to in my altar, I also have my parents' photograph. So I feel connection to I'm in touch with my family, although as a renunciant, we are not, most of us are not, but that helps me. So these are the three things I'm doing. For psychological stability, I'm doing my family worship and breathing and walking and all that, poetry, journaling, and for contribution lectures and writing, and for connection, Prabhupada lectures and chanting. For beauty worship also I do in Chopadi. So these are three things I'm doing. And I'm seeing a difference. Post-COVID, I'm seeing my consciousness, I'm less irritable, I'm less confused, I'm less seeking of approval. Otherwise, every time I wanted approval. You can't please everyone. Now, so devotee says something very outlandish or something strong, I don't get disturbed because somewhere there is like tripti, So this is my humble presentation. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
So now shoot if you yes, Prabhu. You can correct me also. I am willing to be corrected. Hare Krishna. Yes, Prabhu. You, Prabhu. Yes.
Very nice, Prabhu. Very nice, thought-provoking things which you mentioned. Our kids they have grown up in Krishna consciousness. They don't know much about demigods also. And when we were small, we were basically visiting all the temples, going to Lord Shiva temple, doing Abhishek, and we were celebrating all that things, and we were actually also it was a fun, like all jhaki, we will make all those things, and even in Shivratris, for certain number of days they will do all Abhishek, and the society, everyone will come together. So for a lot of times I feel that they are missing that actually. Because they are just seeing, okay, going to the temple, attending Sunday feast, attending the lectures. Of course, we do a lot of things here, but we also we have our standards of deity worship and all that. But when we are doing demigod worship, anybody can come and do that. And also, like offering the lamb. So I offer it, then someone else takes the same lamb, and they also offer, then we pass it to other person, he will also offer the same thing. So that kind of thing is also, maybe not completely, it may not be fully authentic, but these things we have actually done it. So I often wonder, like our children should also get some experience of that, because we just tell them no demigod worship, because Bhagavad Gita and all those, we quote that, but they haven't experienced that. They haven't realized that. It is just we are telling them, and they don't have any exposure to that. So if they have to even take shelter, like like you said, if they face some kind of crisis or something, so that they say, okay, we don't believe in this. Like many of the people, they say, even like we meet so many, they say, oh, I don't believe in horoscope, I don't believe in Vastu, I don't believe in all those things. Sometimes they have problems in their house or something, they don't want to actually, or some marriage problem is there, some issues are there. And kids are also going to grow up and they are going to face all these things. So in that regard, what is how we should take care of them?
Yes, this is a very good question. So I'll come back to the point I mentioned in the class. If this particular child is actually attached to Krishna, then you don't need anything else. The main thing is, will this child blame Krishna later? If the child will not, then it is perfect, because you don't need anything else. Deva rishi bhutapta nranam pitranam na kinkaro nayani charajam sarvatmanaya sharanam sharanyam gato mukundam parijatya kartam. Oh, you have taken shelter of Krishna, everything is there. But if there is bitterness, if there is unfulfillment, if there is complaint, then that child needs help. I'll tell you a classic example. One of my very close friends, I can openly talk about it. His daughter, I've seen her since she was small, basically homeschooling. When she was 3 years old, she started coming to temple. Practically, she has grown up in temple complex, Janvi. She is the one who coordinates all my youth programs in temple now. Now she is a 25-year-old, 24-year-old young woman, eligible for marriage, and alliances are coming. All that is happening. 25-year-old young woman now. But we have seen her since she was 3 years old. Only growing up in temple campus. In fact, some of us taught her maths, social studies and all that. She's grown up with, she knows nothing but only devotees. And Radha Gopinath, for her only God is Radha Gopinath. She's only attached to Gopinath. Now, it's not because anything wrong. From childhood, only Krishna. So when she gets free time, she'll come running to temple. See Gopinath. So she's Tuesday, Saturday, she does pot washing, temple seva. Only connected to Krishna. Now she's 25. Okay? Now she's marriageable age. Alliances are coming. Now some astrological issues are there. All those charts, things are coming up. And now I grew up also in Bombay. I've gone to all the famous Devata temples in Bombay. Like Shiva temple. It's very close to our temple, Babilnath, Mumba Devi, And you know what kind of class I gave just now. This is the kind of class I give everywhere. And she's very attached to me. She sits right in the front of all my classes. She knows, and she doesn't go to she's not gone to any of the famous demigod temples in Mumbai. Please understand this. Not because she's not exposed to anything. And she's happy with Gopinath. So one day, after one of these kind of classes, she wanted an appointment with me. So I went to their house, parents were there, and she was sitting, she was serving, she's a great cook also. Some devotion, all qualities that Prabhupada wanted in girls, she has it. A smart lady, psychology mein kiya hai, she's expert with children, super smart, intelligent girl. And she said, Prabhuji, started crying. Prabhuji, you said so much importance of Devatas. See, I don't have anything against them, but my heart just belongs to Krishna. I can't think of going anywhere. And when I have time, I feel I should go there. I can let me just go to temple only. You see, she was genuinely saying all. I was just listening to her. And I was in that space. I could see how much purity and innocence from childhood is. I thought, wow, I wish I was like that. But I had a superior role to play of a guide. So I was just, And then she said, Prabhuji, am I offending these Devatas? Am I doing something wrong? Because you are connected. Because I always speak about holistic living, connection to family, traditions and all that. And she's completely different. She's like, Pakka ISKCON devotee that Prabhupada would be proud of. After she finished the whole thing, so Prabhuji, what do I do? I said, just continue what you are doing. Because she's not offending any Devata. She has nothing against Lord Shiva or Ganpati. But her heart belongs to Krishna completely. So I said, you are the way you are best. But only one request. Never leave Krishna. Don't expect Krishna to... Don't be disappointed if Krishna is... Because Krishna's master plan, Krishna is, you are going to a parent. What Krishna will do, I don't know. How Krishna will purify you, I don't know. Kemone shodhi pe more, na jani bhakti karma jada mati, podechi samsara gore. Bhaktivinoda Thakur is singing Gopinath. So that bhajan line I sang for her. I said, this is what Bhaktivinoda Thakur said. I don't know Krishna will purify me. Are you ready for Krishna's tough love. If you are ready, he said, "Oh, I'll never blame Krishna." I said, "Then I have full support. Don't do any of the other things." So she's not doing. But astrologically, some issues are there. So our parents and myself, we are sorting it out. But she's okay. But her heart belongs to Krishna. So I say, agar hai bache. There are some children like that. They have not been exposed to, like we have been exposed to. See, we have our own advantages. Because of that, we learn what is community living. We learn what is express gratitude. That is important. For her, she's expressing it in her own way. She's coming to temple every second day. She's serving the deities. She's also doing the same thing. But instead of Shiva, she's doing for Narasimha Dev. She's doing, Vraja, Krishna's different aspects she's worshipping. So I think we should encourage our children if they're attached to Krishna. I don't see anything wrong in that. But they should not be jihadis in the guise of devotee. Krishna only, demigods are bogus. Aisa kuch bol diya na, then that is very bad. That's fanaticism. We have many fanatics also, na? Like, oh, those who worship demigods, they are nonsense. And like one very big preacher went to one devotees who knew people, they're just becoming devotees in America. He went to their house, they were chanting 4 rounds, 5 rounds. He looked at them and he saw their altar, there was Sai Baba and few other deities. He just went, he picked it up and took it outside and put it somewhere near the, just outside the house, there is one window, he kept it there. But altar only Krishna. So bewildered. New people. So this kind of preaching is very, very, that's why we are banned in Singapore. You can't go to Singapore in devotee clothes. Because Hindu society is complaining, these guys are crazy. Our preaching stopped in one university in Mumbai because, we were called to inaugurate the local Durga temple there. The devotee went there and we bashed all the demigods. So the university said, no more, they can't come here. And outside our Babalan temple, which is the most famous Shiva temple in Mumbai, I was part of that team. We had released a special back to Godhead issue. See, I am not absorbing myself of the responsibility. I am also guilty of this mistake we did 20 years ago. We released a special back to Godhead issue on Mahashivaratri day and we're distributing it outside Babalnath temple to all the pilgrims. And you know what the cover story? Shiva and Krishna's that fight, the Asuras fight. And the title was Kaun Bada, Shiv ya Krishna. And we are giving that. And the temple authorities are like, what the hell? We don't know, we are fanatics, we were younger, immature. So like that we fried out many people. But now I apologize to them. I went to Vaishnav Devi last year, 2 years ago. So I was, we're climbing because our Kula Devi connection is there. So I was going in saffron only with 3 other brahmacharis. We were going. At least 4 people. We were climbing that way. It takes a long, tough time to climb. At least 4 different people during that climb came to me. Are you guys ISKCON? आप ISKCON? हाँ. नहीं, आप ISKCON नहीं हो सकते. क्यों? नहीं, ISKCON वाले इधर सब नहीं आते. बोला मैं ISKCON वाला हूँ पर नहीं, मैं अपने माता पिता को याद करके आया हूँ. उनकी इच्छा थी. I'm ISKCON, but I'm right now coming in the capacity of a son who belongs to his parents, not as ISKCON. So they were like, no. They couldn't take it. Because we have created that image for us. But with Janvi, I tell her, she doesn't have to go anywhere else. Because I actually wish I was like that. That is what I want. But for my right now situation I am in, for that stability, I may need to do something like that. But honestly, I don't do much for astrology and all other things. I don't do Surya Dev worship. I don't do any of those things. I am happy where I am worshipping Krishna. But if somebody needs it, I encourage them. ठीक है, कम से कम नहीं तो बैठ के उसको addiction हो जाएगा और nonsense things. Better to do something and be stable. Sattva-guna is okay. Otherwise, tamasic things will make you addicted.
True.
Yes, Prabhu.
Prabhuji, on the same topic, Prabhuji, I just wanted to bring to your grace attention, Rajendra Sutta Prabhuji and Tulsi Sharan Prabhuji, what they have done in their community is magical. What they have done is there are a lot of people who are only demigod worshippers. They have conducted so many Ganpati pujas, 9 days, all these things, and today their Bhakti Riksha, all of them now come.
Wow.
So they've used the same solution to bring their attention. So they have a huge Bhakti Riksha, both of them.
Thank you so much. This is a story I'm going to tell everywhere now.
They do a huge Sri Ram Navami, Ganpati Navaratri, 9 days, all that. Now the whole community who used to eat meat and all, they bought special
Beautiful.
vessels and all that for only prasadam and all that.
And Gaurav Prabhu, and when we were taking lunch, see, Gaurav Prabhu gave an example which has stayed in my heart forever. Because initially I was also confused. He said an amazing point. He said Vedic Devatas, we are like a joint family. He said when a girl gets married in a joint family, her first commitment is to her husband. But she doesn't ignore her brother-in-law, father-in-law, mother-in-law, sister-in-law. Everybody needs, everybody she serves, she respects. But two extremes she will not go. One is, okay, this whole family is for me important, so everybody is equal for me. That extreme she will not go. And second extreme she will not go is, oh, I will only serve my husband, I belong to my husband, I don't care for anybody else in the joint family. She will not do that. She will, she knows my first love, most important is my husband. And rest, I will do whatever is. They are part of the same family. Similarly, they are all part of the Sanatana Dharma. So Ganpati, Shiva, Bhuteshwar, whoever Devatas are there, they are part of the same family. But our heart belongs to Krishna. There is no doubt about it. Krishna is our original Pati. We need to trust ourselves and we need to trust the other devotees also that they are attracted to Krishna. Our problem is we don't trust ourselves also, we don't trust others also. So this is such a beautiful example. And thank you for sharing this, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Also, Devata was one example. It could be something else like, studying, say, non-violent communication. I feel this is the most important thing after chanting Hare Krishna for ISKCON devotees. Marshall Rosenberg devised this, compassionate communication. And Veer Krishna Maharaj has mastered it. And Veer Krishna Maharaj wrote a book in an ISKCON language. The same book, the same concepts, but because many ISKCON devotees get scared to read the other books. So just to make them feel less threatened and comfortable, he used ISKCON lingo and he wrote the same concepts. And he made it in his community in North Carolina. So many devotees, I went there in his group, so many devotees have learned this non-violent communication and it is helping resolve so many conflicts. And I am teaching it also and I am seeing the benefits. I am practicing it, I am seeing benefits. I feel devotees need to learn compassionate communication and these people are experts in that field. Why not learn it from them and use it to serve Krishna? No. Krishna consciousness is everything. We don't do this, but they are fighting. Small things we are fighting with each other. So learn some techniques, no? So Devata worship is one part too. We could learn this compassionate communication. How to communicate. We say no, we should not offend devotee, we should be respectful, but practically doesn't happen. Like one of my very close friends, he said something in his class, and 3 people in the audience said Prabhuji is a deviant, he is against Prabhupada. So they wrote a letter to GBC that this preacher should be banned. So the GBC employed a subcommittee, and the subcommittee did investigation and declared that this Prabhuji is bona fide. He is a nice preacher. So all problems solved. But those 4 devotees got very agitated. No, he's deviant. He's against Prabhupada. So they wrote a letter to that Prabhuji when he was in America. They wrote an email. Hare Krishna Prabhu. I won't tell his name. Hare Krishna so and so Prabhu. Please accept our humble obeisances, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Prabhu, you are a deviant. You are blah blah blah, all nonsense written. So you are right now in America. Stay in America. We warn you. If you come to India, that could be the last day of your life. All that letter, and then end में your humble servant. Proper ISKCON letter. I said, Jai Ho. So he forwarded a letter to me, and we didn't know whether we should laugh or we should cry at that letter. So I just realized those devotees are not wrong. They had some concerns. It's just that they don't know how to communicate. But because this devotee was mature, he didn't get offended. He was mature, he understood they were disturbed them. So we were laughing at it, only if they knew how to communicate properly. They could have expressed their concerns more gently. Anyway, so this is, I feel we need non-violent communication. Devotees need to learn it. But we should not, we should do this. So that's a little scary. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. Anything else? Last comment? We'll stop here. It's 8 o'clock. Yes, Prabhu. You are the host. We should ask.
On the same point as Shyam, you asked the question. I come from Bengal. And I have never taken my kids to Durga Puja. Sorry, yes, once we did. But in my mind, I was thinking, because I come from the background, I have witnessed that, I've been part of that, part of doing the worship. The sense of offering was very less there. So now I fear that I, going back or taking them, will it bring the same plot in? Same plot of this thing. The purpose is just to enjoy, not to worship. No, because somebody asked the question, I am thinking since then that will taking them to that culture be better, or keeping them away from the culture be better? Given my state, not perhaps this.
See, keeping them away is not the point. Are they attached to Krishna? If they're attached to Krishna, if they love Krishna, and they're not offensive towards Durga.
You don't even know.
But I feel you could always take them once and tell them this is the culture I grew up in. We did it wrongly. We used to ask Devi for. With education, no? See, this culture is beautiful. They know what the culture is. Their parents followed. There's nothing wrong. In fact, that's beautiful. But with education, we have education, which we didn't have. You can tell them. You can tell your children, I didn't have this education when I was a kid. Even when I go to Udupi, my hometown, how they worship Devi, this Chamunda Devi, they worship, and there's big music going on. Chamunda Devi, there's a loudspeaker. The song is Varakodi, Chamunda, Varakodi. Vara matlab Vardhan, Kodi matlab do. The song is, the singer is screaming, Varakodi, Varakodi, give me. Mujhe de do. So I watch it, and when I go with children, like I tell them, see, the song is wrong, but Devi she is Durga. If we ask her, please help me in my service to Krishna, then Durga will transform to Lakshmi Devi. But if you are serving Lakshmi, but thinking of being an enjoyer, that Lakshmi Devi, instead of a lotus flower in her hand, Nanyam tata padma palasha lochana Dukha chidam te mrigayami kanchana yo mrigyate hastagriheeta padmaya Shriye tare ranga vimrugyamane. Suniti is telling Dhruva, she's describing Lakshmi is so beautiful. She has this beautiful lotus flower. She's twirling it. And that is a Lakshmi ji. If we are the mood of service, if you educate your children like this, then Lakshmi ji will bless us with Narayan. But if you have an enjoyer mood, the same Lakshmi becomes Durga with trident. Similarly, when you worship, respect Durga, that, oh mother, please help me, like the gopis pray to Katyayani Devi to increase their attachment to Krishna. Mother Durga, please help me. Then that Durga Devi will give us blessings. So like that, if we tell, what is wrong? You don't have, you can give them the culture without what the bad thing that you learned about being an enjoyer. At least let them know how you grew up, what you saw. Experience them now. Otherwise, you'll feel somewhere, I didn't give my children, I didn't tell them something.
That feeling is there.
So you should share, you should take them around Durga festival, show them what is wrong. I feel, as long as you're educating them. See, Prabhupada took all his disciples in 1971 to Kolkata. They went to this temple near his home, near his place. This is there, Lilamrut, you can read. Before entering the temple, he's telling all the devotees, don't ask questions. Just do what I am doing. Yes, Prabhupada. And Prabhupada goes, first there is Ganpati deity. Prabhupada offers full dandavat. Then there is Kali deity. It's a spiritual supermarket, like typical Hindu temple where all Bhagwan are there. Prabhupada offers full dandavat to everyone. And all the devotees. Prabhupada did that. Prabhupada saw time, place, circumstances. He showed them. So and Prabhupada's son's house we went. Many years ago in Mayapur. Prabhupada's son's house, the youngest son, Vrindavan Chandra, we went there. Bada Kali ka photo hai, chara ke. Culture, it's a part of culture. So anyway, I don't want to get into all of that. That's not the main point. The main point is your heart belongs to Krishna and do the needful for stability. Again, if you get lost in this, that my goal is not that we promote demigod worship in ISKCON. That's not the point. The point is, if it helps you to get some stability, if it helps you to connect to your roots, if it helps you to serve better, do it. If it's not needed, like Janvi doesn't need to add and confuse. This is a Bombay girl, the girl I'm talking about. She's grown up, raised in South Bombay. And she's never been to this Devata temple. She's okay. I'm also okay. Her parents are okay with her. Fine. But culture देने में problem नहीं है. दिखाने मतलब to let them know. As long as education is there, I think it's safe. Such a nuanced thing, now how this can be misunderstood. And so this thing can be easily misunderstood. Because our pranamaya kosha is not developed. See, there are 5 koshas, 5 layers covering the soul. This is called annamaya kosha, body. Then behind that is pranamaya kosha, the sheath of prana, life air. And then there is manomaya kosha, the mind, feelings, emotions that cover the soul. Then there is vijnanamaya kosha, sense of discernment, intelligence. And then there is anandamaya kosha, the sheath of peace. And then there is actual soul. So these 5 layers cover the soul. The second covering is pranamaya kosha. Pranamaya kosha is life air, breath. See, many diseases, before they affect the body, they first affect the life air. That's why many Ayurvedic medicines are given to take care of the breath. So many of our pranamaya kosha is undeveloped. So that's why we live in fear. Our breathing is shallow, fast, fearful. We're always fighting, flighting. Our sympathetic nervous system is activated. We are fearful. We don't trust others. We don't trust ourselves. We think, oh, deviant, Maya will catch you. We are always living in fear. Our bhakti is fear-induced. Murgi bhakti, I call it. You see, our hen eats food. Looking here and there. Cat will come and pounce on me anytime. You see, hen pluck food. But anybody eats prasad like that here? But we are actually doing murgi bhakti. Chanting Hare, oh, Maya will attack. Oh, this devotee is deviating. Oh, this is wrong. What is wrong, Prabhuji? Is this okay, Prabhuji? Always fearful. Because we don't trust ourselves. We are always living in inadequacy and scarcity mindset. When we come to ISKCON also, we are living in the same scarcity mindset. We don't trust ourselves. It's very unfortunate. We need to, we trust you. It's okay. I know one devotee, very pakka 16 order initiated devotee. Pakka devotee, preacher, everything. I went to his house, in his altar, whose photo he had kept. Shankaracharya's photo. And how much we have criticized Mayavadi, because he says, the whole family from childhood we have worshipped Shankaracharya. And he's after all Lord Shiva only. And I'm grateful to him. Because of him I had spiritual quest. Now I understood that Gaudiya Vaishnava is highest. But I can't be not grateful to Shankaracharya. But how much we have criticized Shankara and Mayavadis. Anyway, so like that. Gratitude is always healthy, Prabhu. So if you express to your children how, I'm grateful for what I got in childhood, little bit education was not there. We thought we are supposed to enjoy by worshipping Durga. But Prabhupada has taught us the right way to worship Durga. Not worship, we actually respect. We're not like worshipping, chanting every day. Once in a while, offering respect. Kula Devi, when I go to my hometown, Udupi, I always offer respect for Kula Devi. And I carry that small dabba of the kumkum of Kula. Every day after taking bath, I put little bit that powder on my forehead, remembering my ancestors because they served that Kula Devi. So I want to be connected because I've seen during most difficult period of my life, the love that my family gave me as a child, the unconditional support, trust that my father placed on me, my grandparents gave me, that saved me from doing something disastrous. That love that we get from our family and ancestors is not something cheap. It protects us from impulsive, wrong, immoral decisions. If you are not gone crazy till now, please know your parents have blessed you. Like I tell many parents when they see their children, I ask them, "Oh, nazar utarte ki nahi?" So they say, "Nazar, Prabhu, ye to we are Hare Krishna, we chant Narsinga mantra only." But I remember my Nani used to do that mirchi, nimbu, namak, salt, and some mantra she would chant. I don't know what she did, but I know that just like a lioness is fiercely protective of her cubs, I know that somewhere my nani, my mother, their love protected me. So I still have memories of sleeping, holding my nani one day tightly as a child. So I guess somewhere all that has kept me sane till today. So when we do that for our children, they have given us, all our ancestors have blessed us. So we are expressing gratitude by respecting the Kula Devi, doing some puja for them. So like that, we do whatever is needed, and it's only to express gratitude. Our heart belongs to Krishna. We don't have to be insecure. Our pranayama को develop करो थोड़ा, प्राणायाम करेंगे, थोड़ा abundance mentality में रहेंगे, trusting ourselves, trusting other devotees. It's okay, we love you. But so many people doing such nonsense, horrible things. Little bit reading some self-help book, not exactly in a way of sense gratification, but to help us in devotional service. It's okay. Sorry, Hare Krishna. ISKCON devotees, please forgive me. Yeah. Connection, contribution, and stability. These are the three things. Connect to Krishna, contribute to the temple, and to make your contribution sustainable, and to make your connection deeper, some stability. One of the very senior ISKCON sannyasis, Radha Govind Maharaj disciple, very big, powerful sannyasi, came to Chapati, gave a power-packed Bhagavatam class, Krishna, everything amazing, Hari Bol. After that, because I go to that Shiva temple, Babulnath temple once in a while, I went there to do that Abhishek of Lord Shiva. I saw that Maharaj doing there. I went for him, wow. And Maharaj looked at me. So, our Radha Govind Maharaj, when you would see a banyan tree, you would offer Dandavat, because he said, but people paid also. Because people paid is Shiva vas, Vishnu vas, banyan tree is Shiva vas. You would offer respect, and Rupa Goswami also says, you should respect. And Ganesh worship, Ganesh ko respect karne ka before Krishna worship, Rupa Goswami recommends the nectar of devotion. So in our temple, we have put Ganpati just before entering temple. We conveniently cherry pick quotes. Like, okay, ISKCON's health minister does yoga 2 hours every day. Perfect, mast unka body hai. But when he's giving Bhagavatam class, he'll only speak shlokas, Bhagavatam. He will never speak about yoga, doing yoga, which is natural because that's the mandate given to him. You should be not foolish. You should understand he is healthy means not simply because of chanting Hare Krishna. He is also doing yoga every day 2 hours. That he will not speak in that class. He will only say chant Hare Krishna. We are also hearing. But we should have the common sense to understand that for his stability, he is also doing yoga. But when he gives class, he only quotes shlokas. In fact, when he is giving class, we sit and count how many shlokas he is quoting. And we say, our century mark diya quoting. 100 shlokas, sometimes 120 shlokas. But he does yoga. Are you seeing what I am saying? Like one very, very senior ISKCON temple president, I gave a class in the program. I'll end with this story. Very important story, Prabhuji. This is extremely important. I gave a class. I said, this Prabhuji and Mataji get up at 2:30 in the morning. They attend Mangal. They preach the 16 minutes before Mangalarti. Blah, 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 blah. I gave a whole story of their devotional service till night, 9 o'clock. Everybody was inspired to do bhakti. They went home. And after 3 days, I get a phone call from one of the Prabhujis. Prabhuji, your class was a disaster for us. I said, what happened? Prabhu, every year, I and my wife and our sons, we go on a holiday. Sometimes to Europe, sometimes to Australia, sometimes to Caribbean. Because he is a CEO, she is a big manager in a big company, multinational. The only time they get is those 3 weeks in a year when they're all together and they deeply connect with each other in that holiday. And he said, Prabhuji, this is what we do every year, but this year, the way you gave that class, now my wife is saying this year, those 3 weeks you spend in temple. So, Prabhuji, now I am not like so advanced. I need this holiday with my family because I connect with my wife and children best during this holiday. What have you done, Prabhuji? What should I do? I said, wait. You call Mataji to temple. So both of them came. So they sat. I sat in front of them. I said, Hare Krishna, Mataji, Prabhuji, that class you heard, that was part 1. Part 2, I did not speak that day. I will speak now. Because that was on the Vyasas and I could not speak part 2. Part 2, please listen. Part 2 of the class is, whatever I told about that Prabhuji and Mataji, they do all that bhakti. It's all true, but they do it 11 months a year. 1 month, both of them take off. They go to one place in Laguna Beach. They stay in a hotel, and when devotee supplies them prasadam 3 times a day, And both Mataji and Prabhuji spend whole day and night together, going on long walks in the beach. They read Krishna book, they connect, they have introspection, they have heart-to-heart discussions on different issues. And after deeply connecting with each other, after that 1 month of connection, then they come back and rest 11 months. Hari Bol, Bhakti. They are just 11 months. They're just doing devotional service. So then I was telling the story that Mataji, who had she looking at me, her lower jaw had dropped. Because I had not spoken that in the class. So then she looked at her husband and said, we are going further. So then I said, when you hear a speaker give Bhagavatam class, any class in the Vyasasana, you should know that that is appealing to your aspirations, spiritual aspirations. When it comes to application, you should talk to the devotee of the Vyasasana. There is adjusted reality and there is aspirational reality. Aspirational reality is the reality that we want to reach one day, that stage, like that girl Janvi. I want to reach that stage, that is the aspirational stage. But the adjusted reality is, given my situation now, I need some physical, psychological stability. Let me go to the holiday with my family. Jao yaar, thoda. But what happened? How Krishna changes. That family would go every year. And this year they were in Amsterdam. They were coming back in their KLM flight, and one of the engines failed, and it had to discharge the fuel, and it had to have emergency landing. Those 25 minutes of anxiety, everybody was panicking and screaming in the plane. These 4 of them, they were only doing Vrindavan Parikrama, chanting, connecting with Krishna, only gratitude, and they survived. That was a scary thing that happened in April, May, and then they came back. They were saying, "Oh, this is a life-changing thing for us." All of them increased their commitment in bhakti. And they already have deities at home, now their deity worship increased. See how Krishna orchestrates events in their life, organically, seamlessly हो रहा है ना? You see, हमारा क्या है ना, पहले sannyas was very organic, seamless. But we made it, renunciation in ISKCON became like, okay, join tomorrow, Shiva, Haribol. But if you see nature, how does sunrise happen in nature? Have you seen sunrise? How does sunset happen? How does old age come? Slow. There is a rhythm, there is beauty, there is harmony in nature. But if you want light, it's dark. If you turn the light comes. So similarly, after coming to ISKCON, we want renunciation. Okay, leave everything now, join. Thoda dheere, organic, seamlessly ho jayega sir. Start somewhere connecting with Krishna. So that's the whole idea of this class today. Psychological and social stability meant connect yourself, contribute, and do the needful to serve. I hope this is clear. No misunderstanding. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. We'll stop. It's 8:20 now. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.